What's up, guys? In this episode, I'm going to share with you some vintage Bruce Lee items that I have in my attic, and this is part 2 of the series. Enjoy. What's up, guys? Charles Damiano back from the Bruce Lee collection for another exciting episode of Bruce Lee Show and Tell. A few weeks ago, we did part 1 of my Bruce Lee attic series in search of some rare vintage items that are stored in my attic for over 20 years. And my search was to find the photos, the 8x10 photos that came with these JKD poster magazines. And I knew I had them stored in the attic because as a kid, I stored a lot of my photos that I put on my bedroom wall in the attic, because as I moved from apartment to house, I always would take all my framed photos with me, and I had them stored in this attic in my home here, which I've been living in for the last 20 years. So these magazines came with these beautiful 8x10 photos, and some of the magazines that I have don't have the photos, but they are in these boxes. In the first episode, we went through about 2 of the boxes that I had stored in my attic, and now I'm gonna go through this 3rd box and love to share with you some of the items that I have in this box. So let's do this together. Let's open this box. It's been in the attic for over 20 years. Now let's pull out this first item. Again, here's a beautiful photo of Bruce Lee from the movie Enter the Dragon. Great forearm shot. As you can see, Bruce had massive forearms, not very big biceps or triceps, but he was a big proponent in working his forearms because he knew he needed that for optimal punching power. Again, great photo of Bruce. Let's see what we have here. Oh, this is the photo. I did an episode on these rare Chinese magazine that I picked up from a little newsstand back in the early 70s, and I had 2 of these, and this was the cover of the Chinese magazine. And I think in an episode, which I'll show in the description above, I did an episode on this beautiful magazine, and this is the second one that I cut up, and there's the cover of the magazine that I had framed on my bedroom wall as a kid. So there it is. We did discover that second magazine that was cut up. Oh, look at this. I love this. Who knows what this is from? This is a beautiful centerfold from Fighting Stars #1, which we also did an episode on, which I'll feature up above. So for those of you who missed that episode, you'll get a chance to see it as we thumb through the Fighting Star magazine. And this, as a kid, I just went nuts when I saw this with Bruce Lee, John Saxon, Jim Kelly in the courtyard scene, and I had to get this framed, as you can see. All right, let's see what else. Oh, here's another nice one. This is a collage of photos of Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon, Feud, Game of Death. This came again in a magazine. I cut it in half and I put it in this beautiful black frame, as you can see here. Nice collage of photos. Oh, another one. Again, Enter the Dragon, famous scene with Bruce and Bolo from Enter the Dragon. Here he is with the snake, and here he is on the boat as they're getting on the main boat to take him to Hans Island. Again, I forget what magazine this was in, but if any of you guys remember, write in the descriptions, add it to the comments. I forget the magazine that I took this out of, but again, it did come from a magazine as a centerfold. Oh, yes, so these are some bigger frames. This was a beautiful poster. I love this at the time. This came from one of my Spanish magazines that came out. And they came from, I believe they were from Mexico. And this was a centerfold in there of Bruce with the double nunchucks from Return of the Dragon. And I used to have this facing the one I had from Enter the Dragon, and they were facing each other. I'm sure we'll find that in this box. This is bringing back some great memories as a kid, man. These were all over my bedroom. So let's see the next one. There it is. This was his companion poster. So this was again from one of the Spanish magazines. Here, Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon. And again, as a kid, I used to have these facing each other like this. And it was on my wall, as you could see. Bruce Lee at Enter the Dragon and Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon. And these beautiful frames that I had on my wall as a kid. So, bringing back lots of memories here. Let's see what's in this one. Another nice little picture of Bruce Lee and John Saxon, probably 6x8 frame from the courtyard in Enter the Dragon. A few more here. Again, another nice picture of Bruce Lee. Came from a magazine in Enter the Dragon with the gloves. One of my favorite fight scenes. The opening scene to Enter the Dragon when he fought Sammo Hung. Love those Bruce Lee gloves, man. If you don't have the gloves, check out my description below and you can purchase these gloves. It's still available. These JKD gloves are a must-have. They look great in your showcase, in your collection, with some great Enter the Dragon pieces around those gloves. Another one, as you can see, I really love the opening scene of Enter the Dragon. Here's Bruce with another set of gloves from Enter the Dragon. We used to call those the finger gloves. Classic scene. Another beautiful photo from one of the magazines that I cut up. Man, I must have destroyed a lot of vintage magazines as a kid. Wow, I didn't even know I had all these magazines here. These are just some magazines that I had stored in here that I haven't seen in a while. Some Karate Illustrated magazines, some Bruce Lee magazines, The Fighter, wow, Kick magazine, another Kick magazine. I was always wondering where these were, and here they are. Black Belt magazine, another Black Belt magazine with Bruce, Black Belt magazine. Again, I didn't even know I had these. These are from probably the 1980s, 90s. All right, and these are the Inside Kung Fu magazines, as you can see. Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon. Wow, I didn't even realize I had these all stored in these boxes. More Inside Kung Fu with Chuck Norris. Another great Inside Kung Fu magazine. Another Inside Kung Fu magazine with Danny Inosanto. Another Danny Inosanto, which was one of Bruce Lee's students at the time. One of the ones that were teaching JKD for him. Him, Dan Lee, and Ted Wong were three of the main students of Bruce Lee that were teaching at the time for Bruce Lee. And some others. Wow. Anything with Bruce on the cover I would get and purchase. Another nice Bruce Lee magazine, Inside Kung Fu. Another rare issue of Bruce Lee. Another Bruce Lee magazine. Inside Kung Fu magazine. Let me know if you have some of these. If you need some, I do have extras, like I said. We could do trades. You could purchase some of these great magazines. Wow, I don't even know if I can go through all these. Let me just thumb through some of these. I do have a few more frames that I'll flip through. I don't know if any of you guys remember these. These were rare Chinese postcards that came out. I believe they came in a set of 6. And I picked these up in a small Chinese newsstand in Chinatown, New York City's Chinatown at the time. And these were very, very rare, and I believe I have all of them framed. This is a beautiful one from Bruce Lee from Return of the Dragon. And then I have a few more in here. Let's see what these postcards look like. Another postcard from Return of the Dragon, as you can see. Another nice frame. And there goes another nice scene of Bruce Lee, Return of the Dragon, and Game of Death. Let me know if you guys have these postcards. I believe they were 5x7, and I believe there was either 6 or 8 to the set. These are very, very vintage, very hard to find, and I have these framed, and I put them up on my walls as a kid. Here's the 4th one. Another nice postcard, Return of the Dragon scenes with Bruce Lee. And then I believe these are the last ones. Here's one of the postcards of Bruce Lee in an incredible round kick to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's face in Game of Death. And these last few here, let's see, another nice scene of Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon, which is another one of the postcard series. And I believe that is it for this box. Wow, I can't believe all the photos I had in here. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this second part series of visiting my attic with me and going through all these boxes that I have up in the attic. I actually do have a few more boxes, so maybe we'll even do a third part series at one time. But for now, I'm gonna sign off on this series, and I wanna thank you guys for joining me as we explored through my attic to discover not only all these framed items on Bruce Lee, but some nice magazines on Bruce Lee, which I forgot I even had up here in the attic. And again, these were all items that as a kid I had plastered all over my walls in my bedroom, and I thought this would be a fun episode. So thank you guys for following me through my attic so we can discover all these vintage, beautiful Bruce Lee items together. Once again, I want to thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. For those of you who are new to the channel, please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, please comment on the episode, keep it engaging as always. We have a very engaging Bruce Lee community. I'm trying to get my subscriber base to 1,000 subscribers, and we're getting there thanks to people like you who are sharing these videos and forwarding them to their friends. So thank you once again, and Charles Damiano signing off from the Bruce Lee Collection saying have fun collecting.